Hello, hello, YouTube. It's good to be back on that Elden Ring grind. It's like coming home. I've said that one too many times already. But still, I love this game. Don't get me wrong, Armored Core was a good jaunt, and I'm going to play more of it. I might make content in the future for it. But in the meantime, we're going to be getting back to our mainline Elden Ring content. And I would say it's a glorious return, but I'm going to actually tell you the truth for once and tell you it's a less than glorious return. Why? I'm a smidge rusty. And everybody who stayed here instead of playing Armored Core, well, they've just been getting stronger while I've been getting weaker. There's no real such thing as a plateau when it comes to skill level. You're either going up or you're going down. Well, maybe. For me. For an adept, a novice when it comes to the PvP and the Elden Ring and all of the Soulsborne games. I assume there's a certain mastery level people hit at some point where, you know, they leave for a long time and they might get a smidge rusty, but then they come back and they're almost as good as they were at their peak or what have you. Or at least still fantastically good. I don't genuinely know the answer to that one. But, this was a bit of a spicy invasion. I was in a bad spot being chased by the full bull goat Nagakiba. I still don't know what broke his guard right there. I don't think it was a parry. At least I don't think so. It looks like his teammate's blue blast of magic broke his guard somehow. Which is a mystery and a half. If you know what broke his guard, tell me. I'm not hacking. I promise. I wouldn't bother. If I were to hack, I would just not upload the video. It wouldn't be worth the time. It would be unfulfilling. Everyone would know and pick it apart. It'd be pretty easy to spot. But, I'm glad to be back at the Elden Ring. It feels good. I like this game a lot. As much as I enjoyed the mechs and the big fighting robots and finally finding a piece of mecha, that I really enjoy in terms of genre, I do love my knights and sorcerers and wizards and medieval setting. I love it. I can't get enough of it. It's my bread and butter. I can't get enough of it. Anyways, let's talk about the build for a moment. It could be optimized. I always say that it could always be more optimized. I think I had a little more faith than I needed. The point of having 20 faith was that if I slap on the plus faith 5 faith talisman, I can use Golden Vow and some of the bigger resistance miracles. Do I do that at any point in this video? No. You might want just, I don't know, 18 faith if you want to have the Vike's War Spear in your back pocket, you know, for those incredibly latent players. But you could use poison in lieu of that. You don't have to be as smarmy as to use the Vike's War Spear, but it is an option. So you could probably take 2, if not more, points out of faith, and I don't know where you'd stick it. Maybe endurance for armor or dexterity for raw damage. It's kind of up to you. Kind of funny, though. Using the broadswords, even though they are not good with the dex scaling, or they're not as optimized as some straight swords, they have really high base damage, and they're a little shorter, and they don't have a very good R2. But if you're using them in a paired way, it seems the broadsword's kind of your ideal pick for raw damage, no matter your build. The stat requirements are pretty low, and even if the scaling isn't optimal, its base damage makes up for that, so it's a good weapon for that. And oh my goodness, twin swords, you can just bully some people. Even people who are good, the backswings will catch ya. It's free real estate. It's the free damage. And I feel kind of dirty coming back to Elden Ring and deciding to go with dex build. I will always, you know, look at them from you know, my high horse and go, ugh, those disgusting dex builds. But I figured it would twist my brain a little bit, help me get back in the groove of things. It is a strong build. It is not an optimized build. You can optimize it further. I believe in you. You've learned something across all these videos and during all your time in the PvP forays, and if for some largely unexplained reason this is your first video of mine, welcome. How did you get here? How'd you find me? That's a little odd. I have a whole collection of videos for you, if you'd like. Playlists, even. And they only get better with time, because that's how the learning curve is. But still. This duo, I thought they would be a gang squad at first, but I came here and I guess they were farming for money, or maybe just honest goodness trying to finish the zone. You have your naked brawler man with his punch weapons, gotta admire that. I do want to do a punch playthrough of the game at some point. but who knows when that can be. But unfortunately, if you have the lightest of the lightest armor, twin swords will absolutely bully you. Twin swords can bully a lot of people, but the damage output's just too high. He's going to succumb to the poise damage on the backswings, since the backswings do less damage than the initial swing. And so he's just asking for it. Because you get lightning damage resistance from your armor and not from any of your levels, you don't get any flat defense to my knowledge, or if you do get any, it's very little. You don't get any of that flat defense from leveling up for lightning damage to my knowledge. But you get it from your armor. And so if you're not wearing any armor, lightning damage is really going to punish you. It's really going to hurt. I think even just having an item in every slot, even if it's the lightest of lightweight equipment, would be infinitely better. And to be fair, a lot of those lightweight armor sets are elemental resistance, which lightning is an element. So wear something, even if you want an ultra lightweight build. You don't have to go naked. Please just wear like, I don't know, the gold masks shirt, wear the some lightweight shoes, some dainty gloves, you know, the circlet hat. Wear something in every slot, please. And I'm sure you can fashion it. There's a lot of armor sets that are incredibly lightweight that people overlook when they're optimizing your builds. You can wear something, please. Unless they're going for the meme. If they're going for the meme, more power to them. I'll stop harping on that. But look at this Thunderbolt damage. Oh, every time I play a Dex build and I use Thunderbolt, I get amazed. Because I remember in the early days of my PvP, before I made the channel, my early days of PvP with Elden Ring, I would stick Lightning Bolt on other builds that weren't Dex builds. And it would hit okay. It was a nice little finisher. It was a nice trick to have up your sleeve. And then I learned, oh, even if you're not a Dex build, putting the Lightning Infusion on a weapon that you intend to use just for Thunderbolt is a great idea. It'll hit harder. It won't be so good as a regular weapon, but it'll be good as an Ash of War stick, or good enough. And then, you know, I actually used Thunderbolt on an intended Dex build, because Dex builds have never been terribly attractive to me. I've harped on that enough. They hit like a bus. It's nonsense, the level of harassment you have. And to be fair, every time I fight a gank squad and they have Thunderbolt, I get a little fearful. It's a good move. Look at that backswing. Oh my goodness. The damage is too high. You can just trade people. I only have 89 poise on this build. You can get more poise than that. And, you know, be able to trade the subsequent hits of people and get in people's faces and whatnot. You won't trade initial hits necessarily, or rather you won't power through, you won't armor through the initial hits of anybody, but I digress. Twin swords are still scary to me. I feel bad that for most of the video I use twin swords. I will try to mix it up in subsequent videos. I think I'm going to do one more Dex video. Because I'm getting back into it, I feel like I need a little more playtime before I move on. This is a shorter video, just to sort of get back in the swing of things, to kind of reflect on what it's like to try to peel away the few layers of rust. And to be fair, I keep saying that phrase, to elaborate, I haven't been gone that long. It's probably been like a week or something. Maybe 2, I don't know. But, it's since I've made a video, it's been a little bit. Since I've made an Elden Ring video, it's been a little longer. I don't know the exact time scale, but it feels long enough. But look at this latent fellow with his Radon swords. I can't stop him. You can't stop him. He's gonna get his hits. You don't trade a boy like that. But you can Thunderbolt him. See, that one hit weird. It went a little scawampus. I had a couple latency moments while recording for this video, and I don't include all of them, but this one I included. Because I couldn't not. Magma Worm is a great teammate. Just don't get in front of him. Just don't stand in front of him. I've died to that one too many times as an invader. Don't stand in front of the Magma Worm. You should know better at this point, if you've been watching my videos. I believe I've included my deaths before. So no, unfortunately, I don't have any more nuggets of wisdom, at least none that are readily apparent to share with you, or just little pithy observations, unfortunately. I will say this one thing, though, that came out of Armored Core that was very nice. I have a close friend in my real-world life who really likes Armored Core and is getting into it and playing it, and we're having nice discussions about it, and this pleases me greatly. It's nice to have that. I don't have a I don't have any people in my real life that care about Elden Ring as much as I do. It's my special interest, we'll put it at that, for lack of a better phrase. And so it's nice to have somebody to chat about with all this stuff. Or all the Armored Core stuff, I should say. Elden Ring, on the other hand, is my special interest, and I'm going to be with it for quite some time. At least until the next Souls game comes out. What that could be, I could only imagine. I am terribly excited for the DLC. I suppose I could chat about what I'm going to bring into that. It seems like the main motive of operation when it comes to the DLCs. A lot of people are going to try to bring a level 150 build to the DLC. It seems that that's the natural conclusion. When people play through the game, they tend to end their playthrough somewhere between level 125 and 150-ish, at least on the first playthrough. That seems to be where they get. Even if they don't explore every nook and cranny, if they do explore every nook and cranny, they're going to be at the upper end of that bracket. Or so it feels. And so, if people are going to be coming back to the game for the DLC because they played through it once, enjoyed it, and now they're going to play through it again when they come back for the DLC, they're probably going to be around level 150. I am tempted to bring a level 137 to keep all the meta people, but I think a 150 build would be fun. I don't know what build I will use. I kind of want to... I'm probably going to do what I did with my lore through and have a strength int character. However, 150 is not enough for as ridiculous strength int characters I had for my lore through, because I wanted to show off as much as I could in that character, so he was significantly over-leveled. So I think I'm going to figure something out. I think I'm going to do a mostly magic character with enough strength for some neat weapons. I think that's going to be the goal. Kind of a martial magic character, and it'll be fun. Bring him down to level 150, play through that DLC, and heck, I might even do a little lore through on it if you're familiar with that series of mine. And yet again, here we are with the Great Bow and the Golem Arrows. Even though I'm not very good at this thing, it is a phenomenal tool. Even though I'm mixing up my buttons. As you can see, by me not knowing how to do the right thing or not making sure I can lock on first before I, take the shot. That poor guy stuck on that ledge. I kind of felt for him in the moment. And so I focused the host, and I shouldn't have, because it ended the exchange way too quickly. And while sometimes the Great Bow feels busted, I feel like I'm always at a loss when I don't have one on a build. Like those pure caster builds who can't afford the 18 dex, 22-24 strength, or 20-20 strength dex, or whatever the spread is depending on your Great Bow of choice. Here's a little duel. I do usually a handful of duels just to refamiliarize myself with the controls and try to do a little bit of back and forth footsies. Though it's hard to do footsies in a game that doesn't have a background or a wall right behind you really close by. Like more traditional fighting games do, of course. Still, my goodness, was Thunderbolt way too good for turning people into dust. It's nice to punish people after they endure. Endure feels dirty. Even when I use it, it feels dirty. I can't help it. But still, I'm glad to be back. It's good fun. I miss these invasions. Kind of silly. I'm codependent on this game, it seems. Probably addicted. Probably have a problem. Probably not going to admit it to anybody. Except for you, my private audience here on this very small corner of the internet, where I'm grateful to have you with me. Dirty Moon Veiler. Using his weapon around the corner like it's a cover shooter. Elden Ring really is the cover shooter of all time, but hey, can't have a video without Stormhog Axe, can I? Kills him so fast. Anyways, thanks. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye now.